Punk Singer is an American film released in 2013 and is the first feature film for documentarian Cindy Anderson. Anderson uses a range of film techniques in this documentary that offers an exemplary and intimate view into the life, workings, controversies, struggles, and triumphs of a now feminist icon. The Punk Singer explores the inception of Kathleen's need for expression. Using a combination of interviews and archival footage, including live band performances, the film traces the life and career of Hannah from her troubled upbringing and her start in spoken word performance poetry, through her Riot Girl zines, her prominent punk, grunge, and dance punk bands, her coining of the phrase "smells like teen spirit" for Kurt Cobain, her solo career as Julie Ruin, her feminist activism, her marriage to Beastie Boys member Adam Horovitz, and ending with Hannah's 2010 diagnosis of late-stage Lyme disease and the severe treatment she endures to combat it.
I'm going to tell everyone what you did to me. It was the middle of the night in my house. It was the middle of the night in my house. It was the middle of the night in my house. It was the middle of my house. I'm your worst nightmare come to life. And I'm not going to shut up. I'm going to tell everyone.
Kathleen's poetry speaks about what appears to be a rape or assault of some kind. Starting with such a drastic and dark theme shocks the audience. The unsettling feeling with the audience from the opening scene, especially for those who are not already familiar with Kathleen's story, is a unique way in letting the audience know just what type of documentary they are getting. It allows for the audience to establish just what type of person a Kathleen Hanna is too. We start with Kathleen's back to the camera performing to a crowd, a scene that is then followed by Kathleen staring right into what appears to be her own camera from years ago, as if she preempted this moment of her own documentary. She appears to be almost waiting, watching, and daring for the audience to make their judgments against her. The documentary progresses into an extensive amount of archival footage. The live performances of Kathleen Hanna in the early 90s, performing with Bikini Kill, serves as the backdrop to the interviews with many feminist icons, female musicians, and people involved in Kathleen's life. Cindy Anderson chose to interview a number of people, majority of which are women. This was a conscious decision, with Hanna determined to keep the number of men in the film to a minimal. She said, "I want women to be the experts. I don't want these male experts to come in to make it legitimate."
To the front. I'm not kidding. Be cool for once in your lives. Go back. Back.
Girls to the front. That is the thing that never happened before. Men could be in the room, but men could never dominate the room. It was a flip of the script that blew people's minds.
These young women who wanted to be a part of the scene, like physically wanted to go to these shows, wanted to get into this punk rock scene. We physically were getting shoved.
Sick to death for going to gigs and coming back with bruises and broken ribs. It's not fair because lads get everything, yeah? They're allowed to do what they want and we have to stand in the background.
Having notable feminist activists and female musicians allowed for a more rounded and sincere understanding for the climate in which Kathleen Hanna emerged and the impact she has since made.
You can't overstate her importance to third wave feminism. She was incredibly inspiring. She was kind of the first person to come forth and say, this is what feminism is going to look like. And we don't take your bullshit patriarchs and rapists. And it was incredibly exciting.
At first instant, there appears to be no direct correlation between the interview settings, besides one clearly created setting of the inside of a van. We can only assume that the choice to have so many mismatched and often illogical settings for interviews was simply to capture the people being interviewed in an environment for which they felt comfortable, allowing the audience to highlight each person as their own individual. The Punk Singer is a very dialogue-heavy film, carried by the interviews. The interviews provide a soundboard for the progression of Kathleen's life, and offers an explanation for why much of the archival footage we are watching is so important. The documentary follows a steady rhythm of the inception of Kathleen Hanna as a feminist musician to her devastating experience with Lyme disease. As we hear the interviews, the histories, and experiences of feminism, grunge music, Kathleen Hanna, and the impact she has made, we are able to see these moments unfold on screen with the archival and purposely shot footage. This documentary showcases the power of women in music, the different stages of activism, and gives us an intimate look at Kathleen Hanna's life. Whilst at the surface, the documentary appears to follow the simple structure of beginning to end storyline, it is the setting, archival footage, and aspects of interviews that make this film a standout.